Hi everyone, I want to do a quick video tutorial for you on how to use some templates I've made up to make some circle braid cards that are featured on my blog. This is one of them. Quite a simple card with this beautiful little paper braiding that sort of looks like lace work on the front of the card. Actually makes it quite special. What you'll find if you go to my blog that you can purchase some templates from me for these circle braid patterns. I do also have on there for free the good old plain straight braids that you can do on your card fronts. So they're there for free if you want to download those ones. But if you want the circle ones, just pop over to my tutorials page and you'll find them there. On the template, comes as a PDF, there's 3 different size circles that you can utilise, ranging from 4 inches right down to these 2.5 inch little circles. Now if you also purchase this and have a silhouette cameo cutter, I'm happy to send you the cut files as well. But I'm going to show you today how to use them if you don't have a cutting machine and how to cut them out and make a card. So what you need to do is cut yourself out one of the templates. I'm going to use the larger 4-inch one to make, that's what I use to make this 4-inch note card here. So what you want to do is cut yourself out the template and then get yourself a piece of cardstock. This is 4 inches by 4 inches. And place your template on the cardstock so that it's sort of centered. Now I like to use a circle because at least then I can see where it touches the points of my cardstock and I can make sure it's even all the way around. You'll also need a scalpel, it sound like a surgeon, and you'll need a Stanley knife or craft blade, and you'll need a mat to cut onto. This is an old Stampin' Up! One, so what you want to do is you want to put that down, put your cardstock on the top, and position your template. Now I will zoom in just a little bit here for you so you can see what I'm going to do. Now I have used this one before already, so it's already sort of cut, but if you use a brand new fresh one, you'll be able to tell where you've made the cuts before and where you need to stop and start. With this one with already the cuts in it, I won't know where I've stopped and start, but I'm just using it for illustrative purposes. Basically to do this one, guys, all I do is I find I can hold the template down in place. If you want to use Dotto or temporary adhesive, go ahead and do that. All you want to do is get your craft knife and trace over, oops, that's why it's better not to have it cut as well. Trace over those existing thick black marks that are on the template. You want to do the big cuts and the little cuts. And then you just want to keep moving all the way around, doing that. You want to have good light and you want to be able to be in control of when you do this. I'm making an absolute mess of it because I'm trying to video. But basically what you want to do is you want to end up going around your cardstock and get all those cuts in there. Now I have done one ahead of time so you don't have to sit there and watch me painfully try and do it on camera. And I'll bring it back in. Now this one, when I've cut it, you can see my template is sitting right on top of there. And I've done all the cuts right through the paper. You just want to make sure when you do it that you have made all of your cuts all the way through and that everything's going to pop up and move nicely. If it's not, just go back with your blade and just make sure those are cut through. I find the ones that don't often cut is where I've started and stopped up the top. So sometimes I need to go back through and check all of those. Okay, so once you've got it all cut out, it's just a simple matter of folding these ones. And basically you find you've got tall peaks or tall arrows and really small ones. The ones you want to be folding are these tall ones. So basically you lift up a tall one and you're just going to fold it back, get your bone folder in here, out of the way. So then what you want to do is you want to move up to the next one, grab the next big arrow, fold it back, press it down. Now this time what you want to do is pick up your card and pop it under that very first little small one that you've got there. So I'll show you again. You go to the next big arrow, you're going to fold it back, crease it along that crease line, lift up your cardstock and just flip it underneath that little small arrow. Alright, I'm going to go around quickly and fast forward while I do this. Okay, so when you're back to the start, guys, you're going to flip that big one under the little arrow, and this was the very first one that we started with. You just want to, last thing is flip that one right back underneath that very first little one that we started with. Isn't that lovely? It's so effective and it is so easy. The cutting is the hardest bit to do, guys, and yes, I do use my Cameo for a lot of mine, but I have hand cut them, and they are actually quite easy to do and pretty forgiving pattern too. So don't panic if your cuts aren't perfect and, you know, you're having a few different sizes and stuff like that. By the time you fold it all actually looks quite beautiful. So I'm going to put this one on a little bit of Sahara Stand cardstock, guys. I'm just going to put some adhesive on this. Now you could easily put it on with that side up, or the side that's got more of the folds up. It doesn't really matter. It's kind of a bit of a forgiving sort of template. You could use it either way. So once you've popped it onto your card front, so for this one I've just made my matting piece as big as my card front that I want, and then I've placed my template towards the top of my card. With the note card, of course, it was easy. I just centered it straight in the middle. Then I'm just going to pop on here, I don't know, maybe a little greeting. I might fiddle with this one later, guys, to show you what I finally came up with once I've done this card. So let's just pop this greeting on here, and there'll be a picture of this finished card hopefully on my blog if I get it finished today. The only other thing I really wanted to show you guys is that you can do them in different sizes on your template. Like I said, you've got these 3 sizes here. This is the one I have been using today to show you in the tutorial, but these 2 sizes, I've actually made some cards with these really small ones, and I just want to show you a card here. So that's when it's that smallest template size. Now they're a little bit fiddlier to cut and they are a little bit more frustrating, but the good thing is that I've actually sized it so that you can punch this bit, this circle punches out with your 2.5 inch circle punch, and then it mats up pretty nicely on. So the tip would be, guys, to punch your circle out first, then lay your little template on the top of your circle so that you can cut it like I've done this one. Okay, so punch yourself a 2.5 inch circle, and that little pattern fits exactly on the top of it. And so you can make little ones for cards. All right, guys, if you have any questions, please let me know and pop over to the my blog site and grab yourself the template. Have fun.